guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming to you guys with another video. In today's video I'm gonna tell you guys all about how I got kicked out of school in high school. Oh my god, I can't believe I got kicked out of school one time. Anyways, all right, so this is another story time. As you guys know, I haven't like done a story time in like maybe a year or so now, but this is so hilarious. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start off. All right, so about when was this? How old was I? I was 15. Okay, I was 15 years old. I had just moved from Germany to America, right? So my mom, all right, I'm just gonna do a quick backstory. Okay, so I grew up in Germany, right? No, I was not an army brat or anything like that. My mom got a scholarship to do a research study in Germany with a company she was working at in Kenya. So she ended up getting this scholarship, you could say, or like a research type of scholarship, where she was able to move to Germany for it to conduct this study. So that's how come I ended up moving. Well, that's how come we ended up moving to Germany, my brother and myself. My dad ended up joining us later here in the States. So long story short, I grew up in Germany, went to Grundschule. What is Grundschule in English? Elementary school, I believe. Yeah, I went to elementary school and middle school in Germany. So learn German out there, still speak the German language. Maybe at some point I'm gonna do like a whole video in German, so you guys can, you know, you guys can hear me speak in German at some point. But anyways, so yeah, so then at the age of 15, actually no, at the age of 13, my mother wanted to move to the States, but at the time my brother and I were still young. I was 13, my brother was 15. So we were like, no, we ain't going nowhere. We like it here. Like, why? What? For what? You know, that type of attitude. So since my mom was like, you know, she wanted us to have like a better life, you could say. Not saying that in Germany you can't have a better life. I'm not saying that at all. But for us, for my mom, Germany wasn't it. Germany wasn't cutting it for her. So that's how we moved. That's why we moved to the States. Anyways, so fast forward 2 years later, I turned 15, right? At the time my brother was 18. So I was on the verge of like graduating, because over there in Hauptschule, so Hauptschule is like high school, you could say. After 9th grade, you're done. Okay, you go and get like a what's the word? It's kind of like job corps type of thing, where you study a trade, or like a trade school where you study a trade, and that's what you do. So it's called Arbeits, what do you call it? Gosh, I've totally forgot these. I think it's called Arbeitsabschluss or something, or I don't know. I forgot the word or the name, the so-called name for it. So, but okay, so for example, if you do well enough in school, as in, you know, in 3rd grade or 4th grade, you excel academically, you're placed, I mean, your teacher and your parents have like a conference, like a parent-teacher conference type of thing, and they discuss your educational development in a sense, where they can place you in Gymnasium or Realschule, where you can complete, I think Realschule is up to 11th grade at the time. I don't know if it's changed now. And Gymnasium is up to 12th grade. So pretty much what we have here in the States as in high school is over there in Gymnasium. And then after Gymnasium, you can go to university and such and such and such and such. So you don't really have to do like the trade school stuff or whatever. So yeah, so that's pretty much the background story. But my mother, she was working in the army base at some point, but she ended up finding out that the army base was going to shut down within, I don't know, a couple of years. She didn't know exactly when it was going to happen, but at this point it shut down. I think it shut down in 2010 or whatever. In the area that we lived in. We lived in a small community called Schweinfurt and Berger. So they say Schweinfurt was a state and then Berger was a city. So that's how that was. But it was like a small community, so everybody knew each other and whatnot. So fast forward now. Now at 15, I'm about to get into this adult stage, you could say, because at 16 over there, like, you kind of like consider sort of, because already say that you're kind of like an adult because you're about to transition into the real world, you know, go into the trade school, learn a trade, and there you go, that's your career in a sense. So anyways, that didn't happen for me, because in the 8th grade, around April, my mom came up to us. She was like, we're moving, we're gonna be moving. So we ended up getting our visas and etc, etc. So we ended up moving, and it was my mom, my brother, and myself in the airplane. We just packed everything up and we moved. So we were staying with my mom's friend at that time. So after that, you know, blasey, fast forward, now I'm in school. I'm placed in, like, at first we were trying to figure out a school that yeah, my mom was trying to figure out what school she was gonna place me, because at this point I am the youngest one. I'm 15, my brother is 18. My brother is already considered an adult. Okay, so he had his like high school diploma, I believe, or GED, whatever you wanna call it. And when we came here, it wasn't like valid anymore, or something like that. I don't know, they didn't accept it. So at the time, we didn't know that, like, in public school you can do night school and all this blah blah blah. We didn't know. So my mom didn't want us to go to a public school, so she placed me in like some type of like private school in a sense. So she put me, at first we went to like an all girls school. I was like, come on now, Mom, like, I want to go to a public school. I came from a public school, so put me in a public school. Like, what the heck? Why are you doing this to me, you know? So why are you placing me with all these girls? Like, come on now, like, anyways, it was really hard. But yeah, so anyways, we ended up trying to register for the school, but they ended up, you know, weighing out my option, weighing my age, and also weighing the grade that I was coming in as. I was supposed to come in as a senior, right? But I didn't finish 8th grade in Germany. So, but then they looked at my age difference, because I was going to turn 16 that same year. We came to Miami in June 2006. So that's like about 13, one of them going on 13, going on 12, whatever, you do the math. So anyways, yeah, so then they figured out, okay, she's gonna be too old to be placed in middle school. And then their school was also being cut off at middle school. It was like pretty much all middle school in a sense. So they cut out what you call it, grade was 8th grade. So after that I would have to be going to high school somewhere else. So after we figured that, after we were told that, my mom said, no, never mind, we're gonna look for something else. So we ended up going to another school called Doctor's Charter School. And at this point I thought my brother was gonna join me, because at this point this school is sort of like a private school, but not really. It's a charter school. So end up being placed there. Like, we go do the registration stuff, blah blah blah, and yeah, everything came out fine. But then they also told us the same thing, because at this point I'm about to turn 16. My birthday is November, and when we came here it was June, so I was gonna turn 16 in that academic school year. But my mom did, but the school said, since I'm gonna be already 16, I should be in 9th grade. Actually I should be in 10th grade, but you know, I flunked 1 grade in Germany. I had to repeat a grade. In Germany it's not like, oh, if you fail a grade you can make it up, you can still move forward and make it up in night school. It doesn't work that way. If you fail a grade in Germany, you failed. You got to repeat that class again. So I failed. I think it was 3rd grade or whatever. Anyways, fast forward now. After they told us that I'm going to be too old to be placed in 8th grade, so we're gonna place her in 9th grade. So she's pretty much a high school student, but she has to take some night school. So I had to take, I think it was algebra and earth science, something like that. So because I guess those classes I didn't do well in back in Germany or something like that, and yeah, so I had to pretty much retake those classes. Anyways, fast forward now. I was very disappointed because I was split apart from my brother, and if you guys didn't know, my brother and I were very, very close. We still are close, but at that point, at that time, we were tight, okay? So we went to the same school together in Germany. We grew up together in Kenya and in Germany. We had the same like friends in Germany and in Kenya. Like, come on now. And now, Mom, you want to come out here and separate us? What's wrong with you? You know, like, hello, come on now. So I was crying at this point. I was crying because I didn't want to be by myself, especially the fact that we're in a whole different country, a whole different environment. We have to adapt into this whole new, you know, culture and everything else. And so I just became like really, really shy and depressed. So now we're entering the school year. It's August 2006. Oh my gosh, it was such a rough time. I was like, I didn't want to go to school at all. So all I wanted to do is go into a public school. Had we gone to a public school, my brother probably would have been able to, you know, do night school or something and get his GED at that time. But anyways, he ended up going to another like adult education type of school and got his GED from there. All A's, doing it smart. But yeah, so that was that. And so at this point now, I'm in this school all by myself, not knowing a goddamn soul. I don't know nobody. So and kind of like I was a little bit trying to make friends, and I did speak English already because in Kenya we do speak English, okay? So don't get me wrong, I didn't have to take ESOL or anything like that, or TOEFL, whatever, all these English courses or whatever. I didn't have to take that. I already spoke English. I was smart academically, okay? But I just had to apply myself, okay? So what ended up happening was I ended up getting into my home school, you could say, or like my home classroom, whatever you want to call it, however they call it here. And so yeah, I'm this new student from Germany. I have an accent. I am not that confident in myself. So anyways, I ended up like trying to mingle with other people, but then I kind of got the mean, bullied version of high school. I was bullied. Yeah, I was bullied in that school. So my first day, right? Gosh, first day, I'm in class. I guess I had to introduce myself because I was a new student and whatnot. So I introduced myself and somebody laughed and they were like, oh, my accent. Okay. So that kind of a little bit hurt my feelings. Like, why are you laughing, bruh? Like, what the fuck? Like, you are not better than me, okay? So sit your ass down. Okay, so, but I didn't say that. You know, at this point, I'm still young. I don't have confidence as much because my confidence level is now, it used to be up here, but now it's down here ever since, you know, like this is me. This is my confidence level. So in Germany, my confidence level was up here. When I came to the States and got to high school, this is me, this is my confidence level. It just dropped drastically. All right, so now after my first home class, whatever you call it, I go into this other class. I think it was I don't remember, I don't know if it was, no, it wasn't Earth Space, it was, I think, American, gosh, what class was that? American history? I'm not sure, I don't know, I don't remember exactly the name of that class, but my teacher was German. Oh my god, you guys don't understand. Like, his name was Dr. Schultz. I was extremely happy that I'm able to speak German to somebody, because I'm not confident in speaking English like that, okay? Like, when I speak English, I have an accent and people are gonna laugh at me, so let me keep my mouth shut. So that was pretty much my mentality at that point. So me and Dr. Schultz, we end up, you know, having conversations. We talking in German. He's asking me, oh, how come I ended up in German, blah blah blah. So we're chatting it up, okay? So we even like talked about some students who didn't understand what we were talking about. Anyways, so at the end of the academic school year, pretty much, I only excelled in English, PE, what else? English, PE, and the class with Dr. Schultz. I want to call it American history. I don't know what class that was. I don't remember. I forgot. I'd have to look into my high school records or whatever to remember. So I'm there, right? Those are the only 3 classes I excelled in, pretty much. The other ones, math, science, all these other classes, I didn't care about. So my first day, we're still in the first day of school, so now it's lunchtime. We get sent into the lunch area, whatever, cafeteria. But this school is huge. There's a whole bunch of students out here that I don't even know. And, you know, like, people who came from 8th grade and then transitioned into high school, they already kind of, I guess, knew each other because they went to the same middle school. Now they're in the same high school together. So they were cliques, you know, all the time. So I was trying to mingle, but I couldn't mingle with anyone because I just felt like I was an outcast. So I just ended up going to the bathroom and started eating my lunch in the bathroom, because I didn't have anywhere to sit. I didn't know where to sit. If I wanted to sit somewhere, they would tell me, oh, somebody's already sitting there. Like, you can't sit with us. You can't sit with us. Whatever. Alright. So, anyways, so I just said, fuck it. I'm just gonna go to the cafeteria. I'm just gonna go to the bathroom where nobody is and eat my lunch right there. So I was eating my lunch in the toilet. Like, it's really, really disgusting to think of right now, but I had no other choice. Like, I didn't know what the heck to do. So yeah, I just didn't know what to do. So that was my first option, and that's the option that I took, to go and eat lunch in the bathroom. At least nobody's bothering me. Nobody's telling me, oh, you can't sit with us, oh, you have an accent, oh, whatever. Okay, so I became a loner in high school. I became so alone and depressed. I didn't know what to do with myself. I had no friends. At 15, I have no friends. I have no social life. I can't go out. My mom wouldn't allow me to go nowhere. The first time I ever went to a movie theater, I want to say, like, I think I had already graduated high school. Yeah, I had already graduated high school a year into transitioning to college or whatever, I don't know. So that's my first time I ever went to the movies. But yeah, so I pretty much had no friends to, like, hang out with after school and things like that. I didn't participate in any kind of, like, extracurricular activities outside of school because I just wasn't interested. I'm here all alone. I want my brother to be with me, you know. I want somebody that I know, that I can chit chat with and I can relate to be with me. Like, hello. So whenever I used to go home, I never did my homework. I didn't care for it. and I felt like I was pleasing my mother instead of like, you know, going to school for myself. So I was like, nope, I'm not gonna do nothing else. So I stopped doing my homework, I stopped studying. And I remember one time in my debate class, oh my god, one time in my debate class, I had to debate about like whether cafeteria food in high school is healthy or unhealthy. First of all, I never ate in the cafeteria. I always brought my lunch. My mom always packed my lunch for me, so I had no clue what the heck these people were eating, okay? And then there was also like, you would have to pay for food in the cafeteria, or like had like some type of like meal plan with the school where your parents had already like prepaid or something. I don't know, bro, but I wasn't on that level. I was eating my lunch from what my mom cooked. So yeah, I had no clue what to talk about. So, you know, so now I'm sitting in this debate class, right, having no clue what to talk about. So we have all these other students, you know, debating and like communicating with each other, because we were placed in groups. So these people are communicating with each other, talking about, oh, we can talk about this, we can talk about that, we can talk about like, you know, pizza and all this junk food is unhealthy, but then they also have salads on such and such days and blah blah blah. And yeah, so we had to like, it was kind of like the great debaters in a sense, you know. So since I had no clue and I was shy and I wasn't confident in speaking, so I was like, I'm just gonna chill out, you know, sit this through and see what is gonna happen. So I'm just there, quiet, looking around, not really participating with anybody. So yeah, I was just there like just being sad, missing Germany, missing all my friends in Germany, you know, thinking to myself, why did I come here? Why did I allow my mom to let me come here? So anyway, so that was that. And then so it's our turn, it's my group's turn to debate about this whatever, this topic. So I get there and I didn't have anything to say, so I just let all the other group members talk. So my teacher at the end of the day came up to me and she was like, you know, you're gonna get an F in this participation grade, right? And if you don't pull your socks up pretty much, you're gonna fail this class. And I was like, oh really? Okay, I'm sorry, but yeah, I'll try to do better. I knew in the back of my mind, I don't care. Alright, so, you know, I ended up going home telling my mom what happened. My mom didn't want to listen, obviously. She's just, yeah, like I see her point of view, like what she was referring to, that we came here to, you know, have a better education, have a better, you know, a better life and stuff, and live that American dream, you could say. But at that time, I'm still a kid. I don't know, I'm just an adolescent. I don't know crap. You know, all I care about is just socializing. That's what I wanted to do. Alright, so fast forward now. I ended up failing that class. So at the end of the school year, my parents were told to come to the school and pretty much talk about what's gonna happen. So they told my parents that if I don't excel, if I don't do better in this next term, then I'm gonna be kicked out. So then they ended up telling me that, and I was like, okay, cool, great. So I know I'm gonna be kicked out, and if I continue to you know, do this premeditation of not participating in school, not doing my homework and stuff. So that means if I get kicked out, then I'm probably gonna end up in a public school. So I have my plan made up. So I didn't do any, you know, improvements or anything. The only part I improved in was probably, I think it was like earth space science and maybe math a little bit, but it was just one grade. I think aerospace science I had a D and I improved it to a C, and math I had, I think, a F and I improved it to a D. That was pretty much it. But then the other classes, I think that at this point now I was only doing well in PE pretty much. So yeah, so then after that I ended up getting kicked out of school, and at this point now my mom has to take me to a public school, register me to a public school, because no other charter school or like private school is going to accept me because of my academic. And my GPA was a 1.6 or something, or 1.5, something like that. But as soon as I hit high school, as soon as I hit public school, let me tell you, homegirl started to raise up that GPA of hers, okay? Because now I'm more content. I ended up actually, as soon as I got to North Miami Senior High School, that's the high school I went to, as soon as I got there, in my math class, my geometry class, I had this teacher. His name was Dr. Okiki. He was from Nigeria. Boom, we already have an African right here. In the other school, it was only Spanish teachers and the white teachers. Like, come on now. I also excelled well in Spanish. I remember that. So I was really good with languages, to be honest. Up until now, it's still, I'm good with languages. So yeah, then at this point now I have diversity. This is what I was looking for. I see a whole bunch of black kids instead of like just white Spanish and a little bit of black. So yeah, I'm more digging it now. I like it here. So in my geometry class in Dr. Okiki's class, I ended up sitting down, and we had this one Spanish student who only spoke Spanish, and then another student. She was kind of mixed. I think she ended up becoming my best friend. Actually, we're still friends up to this day. Shout out to Angelica Arts. So if you're watching this video, love you. But anyway, so yeah, Dr. Kiki ends up asking asking the class if anybody speaks Spanish. So Angelica is like, I do, but not not like professionally or anything like that, but I do speak Spanish. She's half Haitian and half German. So she ends up raising her hand. Yeah, I speak Spanish. So she ends up speaking Spanish to her, and then I hear the accent. I hear the German accent in her. So I'm like, sprichst du Deutsch? And then she's like, ja, ich spreche Deutsch. Sprichst du Deutsch? So yeah, she's like, sprichst du auch Deutsch? Dann sage ich ja. Then I say, ja, ich spreche auch Deutsch. Oh my god, we were so freaking excited. We were like, oh my god, wie kommt es, dass du Deutsch sprichst? Wo bist du aufgewachsen? Wie lange bist du hier? Was machst du hier? We were just like, and then Dr. Kiki was like, okay, alright now, like, okay, we know you guys speak German, just slow it down. The class is about to begin. So that's how we became inseparable pretty much throughout high school. And my grades ended up being better, and ended up graduating high school, I think with a 3.0, 3.1 GPA, something to that extent. I don't really remember much. That's like about 10 years ago, something like that. So yeah, that's how I ended up getting kicked out of school, kicked out of high school. And yeah, now a high school diploma. I have an associate's degree in psychology. I have a bachelor's degree in liberal arts, and I'm about to go into medical school at some point, sometime within the coming future. I'm gonna get into medical school. So as you see, sometimes you gotta tell your mama, you gotta show your mama some ways to get some things, okay? You gotta rebel a little bit sometimes with your parents for them to actually like listen to you and attend to your needs, because African parents, I don't know, it's always like their way or the highway. So But yeah, so yeah, my mom is very proud of me. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how I ended up getting kicked out of school. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on my next one. Yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell all the way at the top right there to know when I'm going to be uploading a video. I try boo boos. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye.